Imagine standing on the 118th floor of a building so tall that the city below looks like a map. That's the Shanghai Tower, China's tallest building and the third tallest in the world. You're watching Megaconstructs, where we explore colossal builds from around the globe. Today, we shall be covering the extraordinary Shanghai Tower. Let's start the journey. A city rising from the mud. Imagine a city that didn't exist 30 years ago. Not in the way it does today. Shanghai's Pudong district was once nothing more than farmland and a few scattered villages. Mudflats. Fishermen pulled their boats onto the banks of the Huangpu River, and the skyline was flat. Then, something extraordinary happened. China opened its economy to the world, and Shanghai was chosen to lead the charge. Pudong became a special economic zone. Towers began to rise. First, the Jinmao Tower in 1999. Then the Shanghai World Financial Center in 2008. And finally, in 2015, the crown jewel of them all, the Shanghai Tower. Today, the Shanghai Tower stands 632 meters tall, making it the tallest building in China and the third tallest in the world. Only Dubai's Burj Khalifa and Malaysia's Merdeka 118 are higher. With 127 stories above ground and 5 more below, it is a city in itself, a vertical metropolis that houses offices, hotels, shops, restaurants, and some of the most breathtaking views on the planet. But here is the really interesting part. This tower almost didn't happen. The ground beneath it is soft clay. The wind at 600 meters is fierce. And building something this tall in one of the world's most crowded cities presented problems that no engineer had ever solved before. So, how did they do it? Let's find out. The context: a skyline that tells a story. To understand the Shanghai Tower, you have to understand its neighbors. In the Lujiazui Financial District, 3 super tall buildings stand side by side, each representing a different era of China's development. First came the Jinmao Tower, completed in 1999. Designed in the shape of a traditional Chinese pagoda, it was a symbol of China's past, a nation rediscovering its heritage while stepping onto the world stage. Next came the Shanghai World Financial Center, completed in 2008. Developed by a Japanese firm, it represented foreign investment and international cooperation, China's present. And then came the Shanghai Tower. Designed by the American firm Gensler, it was meant to represent China's future. Not a building that looks backwards, but one that looks forward, transparent, open, and twisting towards the sky. The architect, Marshall Strabler, who had previously worked on the Burj Khalifa, described the trio like this: Jinmao is China's past, WFC is China's present, and the Shanghai Tower is China's future. The Shanghai Tower was designed to be a building without a single dominant facade. Instead of 4 sides, it has over 130 facets that wrap around it, each one catching the light differently. It looks in all directions, symbolizing a more open and transparent China. But the twisting shape wasn't just for looks. It was also the key to solving one of the biggest problems in skyscraper design: wind. The twist, how a spiral defeats the wind. At 632 meters, the Shanghai Tower is exposed to some of the strongest winds on Earth. Typhoons regularly sweep across the Pacific, and Shanghai sits right in their path. A conventional rectangular tower would sway dangerously in these conditions. The solution was to twist the building. As the tower rises, each floor rotates about 1 degree from the one below it. Over the course of the entire building, this adds up to a 120-degree twist. The result is a building that looks like a giant corkscrew reaching into the sky. Why does twisting help? Imagine trying to push a flat piece of cardboard through the wind. It resists. Now imagine twisting that cardboard into a spiral. The wind flows around it much more easily. The same principle applies here. The twist reduces the wind load on the building by an incredible 24%. That means less structural steel, less concrete, and a saving of approximately $60 million in construction materials. The building is lighter, cheaper, and safer because of its shape. Gensler's design team learned this lesson from the Burj Khalifa. On that project, they had to rotate the building twice to optimize the wind performance, which caused major delays and rework. For the Shanghai Tower, they built the twist directly into the outer skin, allowing the interior to be designed independently. It was a smarter, more efficient approach. But the twist introduced another challenge. How do you attach a curved, twisting glass facade to a building? The answer required one of the most complex engineering solutions ever attempted. The double skin, a building that breathes. Most skyscrapers have a single outer layer of glass. The Shanghai Tower has two. This double skin is one of the building's most innovative features. The inner layer is the main structural wall, while the outer layer twists around it like a second shell. Between the two layers, there is a gap of several meters. This gap acts like a thermal blanket, insulating the building from Shanghai's brutal summers and freezing winters. In the summer, the gap traps hot air and allows it to escape through the top of the building. In the winter, it traps warm air and keeps the cold out. The result is a building that uses 80% less energy for heating and cooling than a conventional skyscraper of the same size. But the double skin does more than just save energy. It also creates space for 21 indoor sky gardens, lush, green atriums that span multiple floors. These are not just decorative. They are places where office workers can take a break, meet colleagues, or simply enjoy the view without leaving the building. The outer skin itself is made of over 20,000 glass panels, and remarkably, 7,000 of them are completely unique. Because the building twists, every panel is a different shape and size. Each one had to be custom manufactured and installed with millimeter precision. It took years to complete. The facade is not just a wall. It is a giant, breathing, twisting curtain of glass that wraps around the building like a second skin. The foundation, building on mud. Before you can build a 632-meter tower, you have to deal with the ground beneath it. And in Shanghai, the ground is not good. The city sits on a thick layer of soft clay and silt, the remnants of an ancient river delta. This soil is so unstable that buildings can sink or tilt if not properly supported. For a super tall skyscraper, the problem is even worse. The Shanghai Tower weighs hundreds of thousands of tons. If the foundation fails, the entire building could sink into the mud. The engineer solution was a massive raft foundation, a slab of concrete 6 meters thick and 90 meters in diameter. This slab sits on top of 1,079 concrete and steel piles, each driven deep into the ground. These piles go all the way down to the hardpan layer, a much more stable layer of soil far below the surface. Pouring this foundation was a logistical nightmare. The concrete had to be poured continuously. If it stopped, the layers would not bond properly, creating a weak point that could fail under pressure. So, the engineers organized a non-stop operation. Concrete plants across Shanghai were put on standby. Trucks were lined up along the roads. The pour began on a Friday evening and continued non-stop until the early hours of Monday morning. In total, the foundation used an astonishing 60,000 cubic meters of concrete and enough steel to build a small bridge. It is one of the largest continuous concrete pours in history. But even after the foundation was in place, the ground kept moving. During construction, cracks began appearing in the roads near the site. The ground was sinking, a phenomenon known as subsidence. Engineers had to constantly monitor and stabilize the soil, pumping in grout to fill voids and prevent further movement. It was a constant battle against the earth beneath their feet. The construction, a decade in the making. Construction on the Shanghai Tower began in November 2008. The building was topped out, meaning the highest point of the structure was completed, on the 4th of August 2013. The exterior was finished in the summer of 2015, and the building officially opened to the public in 2016. From start to finish, the project took 8 years, a remarkable speed for a building of this complexity. Over that time, thousands of workers toiled on the site. At its peak, there were over 2,000 workers on the tower at any one time, many of them working at heights that would make most people dizzy. The construction process was not without its challenges. The twisting shape made it difficult to position the glass panels. The double skin required thousands of custom-made brackets. The soft ground constantly shifted beneath the weight of the growing structure. But the team pressed on. One of the most remarkable aspects of the project was the speed at which the building rose. The core of the tower, which contains the elevators and stairwells, was built using a technique called climbing formwork. Workers would pour a section of concrete, wait for it to dry, and then raise the entire formwork system to the next level. This allowed the core to grow at a rate of about 1 floor every 3 days. By the time the building was topped out, it had consumed enough concrete to fill 24 Olympic swimming pools and enough steel to build 2 Eiffel Towers. The elevators, the fastest in the world. Getting to the top of a 632-meter building is not something you want to do by stairs. Fortunately, the Shanghai Tower has the fastest elevators in the world. Designed by Mitsubishi Electric, these elevators travel at an incredible 20.5 meters per second. That is 74 kilometers per hour, faster than most cars on a motorway. To put it another way, the elevator travels faster than Usain Bolt can run, and only slightly slower than a cheetah. From the ground floor to the 118th floor observation deck, the journey takes just 55 seconds. The elevator covers 546 meters in less than a minute. And despite the speed, the ride is remarkably smooth. You barely feel the acceleration. The elevator uses advanced pressure control systems to prevent passengers' ears from popping. It also has a regenerative braking system that captures energy when the elevator descends and feeds it back into the building's power grid, another clever sustainability feature. In total, the Shanghai Tower has 106 elevators, including double-decker cars that can carry more passengers in less space. These elevators are one of the reasons the building can accommodate up to 16,000 people per day. The record-breaking elevators are a testament to the engineering ingenuity that went into the tower, a building that is as efficient as it is tall. The Observatory, looking down on the world. At 546 meters above the ground, the Shanghai Tower's observation deck on the 118th floor is one of the highest in the world. But the building actually has observation spaces on multiple levels, including a dining space suspended 561 meters above the ground, which currently holds the record for Shanghai's highest dining experience. The official highest observation deck is at 561.3 meters. From these dizzying heights, you can see the entire city of Shanghai spread out beneath you. On a clear day, the view stretches for miles, from the historic Bund on the west bank of the Huangpu River to the modern skyscrapers of Pudong on the east. You can see the river winding through the city, the bridges crossing it, and the distant hills beyond. The observation deck is enclosed in floor-to-ceiling glass, giving visitors a 360-degree panoramic view. But for those who want an even more thrilling experience, there is a glass-bottom section where you can look straight down, 546 meters to the ground below. The observation deck has become one of Shanghai's most popular tourist attractions, drawing millions of visitors each year. Tickets are reasonably priced, and the experience is unforgettable. Standing at the top of China's tallest building, looking down at one of the world's greatest cities, you can't help but feel a sense of awe. Sleeping above the clouds. If you want to stay in the Shanghai Tower, you can, but it will cost you. The J Hotel Shanghai Tower occupies floors 84 to 120 of the building, making it one of the highest hotels in the world. The hotel has 165 luxurious rooms and suites, each with floor-to-ceiling windows offering panoramic views of the city. Some rooms are located more than 500 meters above the ground, meaning guests literally sleep above the clouds. The J Hotel is operated by Jinjiang International, a Chinese luxury hotel group. It blends traditional Chinese design with modern luxury, featuring art collections, fine dining restaurants, and a sky lobby on the 101st floor. Staying at the J Hotel is not cheap. Rooms start at around 5,000 yen per night, approximately $700, and suites can cost many times more. But for those who can afford it, it offers an experience unlike any other, waking up to the sunrise over Shanghai, 600 meters above the city streets. The hotel also features several restaurants and bars, including a Chinese restaurant on the 103rd floor and a Western restaurant on the 104th floor. There is even a private dining room on the 120th floor, which is one of the highest dining experiences on the planet. The damper, the 1,000-ton secret. Even with the twisting design, the Shanghai Tower still sways in the wind. At 632 meters, even a small movement at the top can be several meters. Without some form of control, passengers would feel seasick, and the building could eventually be damaged by fatigue. The solution is a tuned mass damper, a massive weight suspended near the top of the building that moves in the opposite direction to the wind. When the wind pushes the building one way, the damper swings the other way, counteracting the movement and keeping the building stable. The Shanghai Tower's damper weighs an astonishing 1,000 tons. It consists of a massive steel weight suspended from steel cables, with a computer system that senses the building's movement and adjusts the damper's position in real time. The damper is located on floors 125 and 126, just below the top of the building. It is not just a functional device, it is also a tourist attraction. Visitors can see the damper in action, watching as it swings gently to counteract the wind. At the top of the tower, you can literally see the building sway, but thanks to the damper, you can't feel a thing. This is the same technology used in many super tall buildings, but the Shanghai Tower's damper is one of the largest in the world. During typhoons, when wind speeds can exceed 150 kilometers per hour, the damper swings noticeably, silently protecting the building from the forces of nature. It is a perfect example of how engineering and technology come together to make the impossible possible. The cost: a $2.4 billion investment. Building the world's third tallest building does not come cheap. The Shanghai Tower cost an estimated $2.4 billion to construct. This includes the cost of land, design, materials, labor, and all the advanced technology that went into it. To put that number in perspective, the Burj Khalifa cost approximately $1.5 billion, but it was built in a country with cheap labor and fewer regulatory hurdles. The Shanghai Tower was built in one of the world's most expensive cities, on some of the most difficult ground imaginable, with some of the most advanced technology ever used in a building. The cost was borne by a consortium of Chinese state-owned enterprises, banks, and the Shanghai municipal government. The building is owned by the Shanghai Tower Construction and Development Company, which is itself a joint venture between several state-owned entities. Is it worth $2.4 billion? For the Chinese government, the answer is yes. The Shanghai Tower is not just a building, it is a symbol. It represents China's rise as a global superpower, its commitment to innovation, and its ambition to compete with the best in the world. The building also generates significant revenue. Office space in the tower commands some of the highest rents in Shanghai. The observation deck and hotel attract millions of tourists. And the building has already become an iconic landmark, appearing in countless films, documentaries, and advertisements. In the long run, the Shanghai Tower is expected to pay for itself many times over, not just in financial terms, but in the prestige and global attention it brings to Shanghai and China. The impact, a symbol of China's future. The Shanghai Tower is more than just a tall building. It is a symbol of China's transformation from a developing country to a global superpower. In just 3 decades, Shanghai's skyline went from flat to one of the most recognizable in the world, and the Shanghai Tower is its crown jewel. The building has also been a catalyst for economic growth. The Lujiazui Financial District, where the tower stands, is now home to hundreds of multinational corporations, banks, and financial institutions. The tower itself houses offices for some of the world's largest companies, including many from the tech and finance sectors. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about the Shanghai Tower is what it represents for the future. The building is designed to last for over a century. Its sustainability features, the double skin, the rainwater harvesting, the wind turbines, are not just for show. They are part of a long-term plan to create buildings that are not just tall, but also green. The tower uses 80% less energy for heating and cooling than a conventional building. It collects rainwater for irrigation and toilet flushing. It generates some of its own electricity through wind turbines at the top of the building. In 2016, the Shanghai Tower won the Best Tall Building Worldwide Award from the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat, a testament to its innovative and sustainable design. The future. What comes next? The Shanghai Tower was completed in 2015, but it remains one of the most advanced buildings on the planet. Its combination of height, sustainability, and technology set a new standard for skyscraper design. But the world does not stand still. Since the Shanghai Tower opened, even taller buildings have been completed. Malaysia's Merdeka 118, completed in 2023, now stands as the second tallest building in the world. And Dubai's Burj Khalifa remains the undisputed king, towering above all others at 828 meters. Yet the Shanghai Tower holds its own. It is the tallest building in China, the third tallest in the world, and one of the most technologically advanced skyscrapers ever built. Its twisting form, double-skin facade, and record-breaking elevators continue to inspire architects and engineers around the world. So, what comes next? China is not finished building. There are plans for even taller towers, even more ambitious projects. But the Shanghai Tower will always hold a special place in the history of architecture. It is a building that pushed the boundaries of what was possible, and in doing so, it showed the world what China could achieve. The Shanghai Tower is not just China's tallest building. It is a monument to human ambition, a testament to engineering ingenuity, and a glimpse of the future, a future where buildings are not just tall, but smart, sustainable, and beautiful. Thank you for watching Mega Constructs. If you enjoyed this deep dive into China's tallest building, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Would you ride the world's fastest elevator to the top of the Shanghai Tower? Or does the thought of standing 546 meters above the ground make you nervous? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.